What's up, people? Straight to this. What's going on is every day you're going to get a different story. Flip-flop, flip-flop, flip-flop. And the two teams that are going to battle this game all the way till draft night is Cleveland Browns at 2 and New York Football Giants at 3. They're both going to play with each other between Shedeur Sanders and Abdul Carter. That's the game that's going to fuck around. If you guys are all loving it because you have a new story to do video about, content every day, but all this shit is smoke, you could skip the next 24, 25 days and get right up to about the day or two before the draft. Because we're going to be doing this all the way through. Here we go. From January, I've been saying, before January, and you could go back to the days when the Big Blue Crew was the Big Blue Crew, back then, okay? And I told the guys that Abdul Carter is the best damn player in the country. I don't give a damn if his foot is hurting or not. It's all bullshit, okay? He's a young animal. When the Giants were the Giants, we wouldn't even be having this discussion as a fan base. We all know who the Giants would be drafting. And that would be the beast edge rusher. It's always been that way with the Giants. But we've lost our ways, so now we don't know or are not sure who the Giants are going to draft. But you would have gone back a decade and the entire history, you would have known that Abdul Carter was a lock to be the Giant at 3. And we'll find a QB later. And that would be the smarter way to go. But there's options. Now, if you go back to the videos, you'll find out that I told people that Cousins was connected to the Browns way back towards the end of this last season. Okay? His offensive coordinator's in Cleveland. He wanted out of Atlanta. They've gone to Penix. He's not going to sit there and back the guy up when he could still play football himself. Don't be fooled by last season. He had major hamstring problems. Achilles, he was injured. He wasn't the same guy. He bounces back. He gives you a strong year, especially if he goes to Cleveland where there's actually a roster there. The Browns signed Myles Garrett. They promised him a quarterback. They probably told him what the plan is. I believe Cousins is going to be a Cleveland Brown. I believed it 4 or 5 months ago. I told people. It's actually on video on the Blue Crew streams. Kirk Cousins will be a Brown. I don't think the Browns are taking Shedeur. The Giants have been linked to Shedeur for so damn long. And Shedeur has made it pretty obvious how bad he wants to be a New York Giant. And with the room the Giants set up with Winston and Russell Wilson, which is pretty solid for 1 year, it's a nice year holdover. You built a room for a young kid to come in. He's got a leader, a starting quarterback, a veteran that's won a Super Bowl, and he's got a mentor in a spiritual, awesome personality to teach him and take him under his arm and be his buddy and lead him in Winston. It's a nice setup. Don't know if DeVito's going to be on the team. He's there right now. Honestly, the guy's irrelevant. You got to believe with the connections, if you put the dots together and you believe in what has been consistent all along, no matter how it's circled to other teams, it's always come back to the Giants, that Shedeur and the New York Giants are a connection at 3. Now, if the Browns pull something different and take Shedeur at 2, of course the Giants are going to draft Abdul Carter. Me personally, and I know a lot of people are not a fan of this, what do I think Shane and Dable are doing? I think Shedeur is going to be a Giant at 3. And now you'll look to get a defensive tackle or some type of strong player, maybe an offensive lineman at 34. But what I would do, what I would like to do, is you got that beast O-lineman out of Missouri, or hopefully Carter would be there. A lot of people like Hunter. I understand he's a unicorn. He's a special two-way player. I don't think we need that. And I understand it's not always about needs, but Abdul Carter is the best end-game wrecking player in this draft. And for you to pass on Micah Parsons a few years ago and then come back and fuck this up also, okay, that's twice. Then you really have turned into a circus. So what I would, in my best world, that Missouri lineman would solidify an O-line that we've been chasing for a decade. Now, I understand you could get a lineman later. Cool. So what I say, and I just throw his name out there because I think he's right up there, and New England's probably taking him at 4. Either him or Hunter. take Abdul Carter and make the New York Giants, the New York football Giants again on the defensive side of the ball. We are loaded, and if you add a Carter to this defense, to me, you're an elite defense in the NFC Conference. You are the best defense in the NFC East. Yes, I said it. With the secondary we put together, and you put together a rotation, 3 edge rushers, and the monsters we have in the middle with Dexter and some of the guys we added, you'll get another young, strong, run-stopping defensive tackle in this draft. The Giants' D is the best in the division, and that certainly makes you competitive. I know the young guys love offense, and you think it's about that. It's not. When you got a veteran quarterback that can manage the game and not make turnovers, teach the young kids how to play hard and find a play or two in a game to win, and you're going to have a top defense, and of course important to have a running game. Tracy's nice, and you add a physical back in the middle rounds with him. The Giants can compete this year. They can win 8 or 9 games. I know you think I'm crazy. Watch. Because a team that we all think is going to be great won't live up. Happens every year. And Washington is that team that's going to find a tough second year and a very hard schedule. We all have a hard schedule. But I'm telling you, to rerun what you did last year is very hard to do. That's not important. In my world, I take Abdul Carter at 3, and I look to trade back up to grab Dart, which I've been high on from the get-go. I believe Dart is a real NFL franchise material quarterback with all the tools. He can move, he's pocket, he's smart, and he's got a big-time arm. And for the most part, he's nasty accurate, especially up the sidelines. Post routes, deep bombs. Look, man, and I don't care if you hate it or not, he's connected to Eli. So look, you can get Shedeur at 3. I'm good with that. Probably the most likely scenario. But if it doesn't work that way and you grab Carter at 3, come back up to get Dart if possible. Keep an eye on the Saints at 9. You're probably not hopping them. The team you could hop ahead of that's probably eyeing him also are the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if that doesn't work, you wait at 34 and you draft Milroe. I believe Milroe's going to be a very good NFL quarterback. He needs to sit for a year or so and learn. And behind Russell Wilson and Winston, it's the perfect room. Once again, just like it is for Shedeur, it's the perfect room for a Milroe. He could sit, he could learn, he could pick their brains. He's got to work on his throwing. We all know he's athletically inclined, and his speed and running, it's pretty special. He's a Dable-type RPO quarterback. Now, another guy on the down low is Tyler. He's sneaking up the charts. Was supposed to be at the top. He had some injuries and problems in his college years, but I believe that kid's a pretty damn good quarterback also. So look, you'll get a quarterback at 34. It's not the worst. They get to sit for a year and learn behind the 2 veterans we brought in. Joe Shane got his work cut out for him. I'm going to tell you that. We're in a good place. We got options. Somebody great is falling to us at 3. The question is, if Shedeur and Carter both got to 3, who is Joe Shane taking? And if you take the edge rusher, which again is the best player in this draft, a la Micah Parsons 2.0, do you have a plan to make sure you get a quality young quarterback in this room at 34? Or do you have the ballsies to trade up? Trade your 99 and 34 a couple of spots up if you have a chance to grab a Jackson Dart. Again, I think the Browns might end up with Cousins. Prediction I've had for a few months. Which would be perfect for the Browns. It solves their problems. Then they would take Abdul Carter, no doubt, to pair up with Myles Garrett, which instantly might be the best pair in the NFL. And the Browns have a really good defense. Last year was a bad year. Everything slipped away. But their roster on defense is there. You're assuming Ward's a lock to the Titans. That would leave Shedeur to the Giants, and I don't think they would hop over a Shedeur. They've been linked to each other for a long time for a reason. And when you watch Dion talk, he hints at it a little bit. Why does he yell out New York before the other cities? and actually says the word New York louder. These things mean things. We all know Shador, his pick is he wants to be a Giant. He's trying to be politically correct, professional, and not say it, but we all know that's what it is. You've had all the hints over the last few months. Gonna be some interesting stuff. You draft Shador and you hopped over Carter, if that even happened. I don't think it will, because the Browns, like I said, will take him at 2. Boy, Shador better live up. Because we skipped a Parsons, and we would have skipped a Carter in what, a 4-year span. That's dangerous, Miz.